All right, hello everyone, and welcome to my driving video of this 2005 Chrysler PT Cruiser with only 96,000 miles. Wanted to give you a very quick walk around of the exterior so you can see what we will be driving today on our drive. Thanks for looking and watching and joining with me. If you want to see the complete walk around video of this car that's very detailed inside and outside and under the hood, take a look on my channel for that as well, and you can see that on here as well. 96,000 miles, lots of great recent service, brand new tires that I'm going to tell you about here as we drive. Great history, only 2 owners on this car, very well cared for, garage kept, runs and drives excellent, every single thing works. So we're going to go take it for a drive and I will tell you more about it and I'll give you my interpretation of drivability. But one of my first and favorite things about these cars is the seating position, sitting up high and looking out over the car. A lot of people like these cars because it's a very lateral entry and it's not down or up. Very nice. I commented on my walk around video how when I get in the car and I sit my butt on the seat and I put my feet flat on the floor, that my knees are straight out and down, almost like you're sitting in a chair. So very comfortable and a great seating position in these cars, and just very comfortable seats. And we're gonna go for a drive now, talk about that and everything about the cars and the things that I think, and with some commentary. So if you're ready, here we go. All right, here we go. I'd like to say one of the first things about the spiffiest, coolest retro wagon PT Cruiser that I personally enjoy is the steering wheel. Even though it's a little bit large, it's nice thickness on the wheel itself, and the 4 spokes make it easy to, you know, rest your hand here, to grab here, even to turn. Just something about a 4-spoke steering wheel that I personally find visually appealing, and steering wise, you can grab here to make a left turn, push here to make a right turn. I don't know, it's just something about it that I like, or holding on like this, however you're comfortable. Gonna drive this car on some city streets and freeway roads. So slow speed, medium speed, high speed. So come along, take a look, fast forward, skip around this video to see and hear all my commentary about the way this car runs and drives, which is nothing short of excellent. Great visibility in this car. So I'm holding the camera a little higher than my eyes are, okay, to give you the perspective and be able to, for you to enjoy the drive. But it's really a nice seating position. It'd be, I think, an excellent car for a first-time driver, you know, with the overall nice clear visibility around. It's like a very fishbowl type of front. Obviously the car is not huge, so it's very easy to maneuver, but yeah, just a nice height seating position. I talked about that on my walk around video, that people that like these cars, buy these cars, enjoy these cars, have owned more than one, that have had them before and come back and buy them again, that they really enjoy of course the distinctive shape and the character and the personality that these cars offer, which is, you know, second to none, really. Maybe second to an HHR, like I talked about on the walk around. But you know, you look at other cars on the road and it's hard to tell sometimes the difference of what something is, but these cars are unmistakably a PT Cruiser. But the seats, seats are one of the things that everyone that reviews these cars talk about. Super comfortable seating. I am extremely comfortable in these cars. I love the armrest. Okay, armrest is fantastic. I'm not using it right now because I'm using my hand for this camera, but it's very comfortable when you're not holding a phone camera. The seat itself is very comfortable, nice and thick. I talked about that in the other video. And of course, the seating position, looking out again, is just perfect. I did forget to mention in the complete walk around, and if you're interested to see the complete walk around video of this car, take a look for it on my channel. It should be right next to this driving video. But in the walk around video, I kind of realized at the end that I forgot to mention the fantastic fuel mileage that these cars have to offer. I mean, I think that kind of goes without saying, and a lot of people probably know that, but you know, 4-cylinder engine, very fuel efficient. Most people reporting upper 20s, almost 30 miles to the gallon on the freeway. So very friendly on fuel. Comfortable car, nice solid ride, quirky but unique exterior styling and personality. Just a great car. Good acceleration, you know, even though it's a 4-cylinder car. Here we go, you know, quickly up to 40, 45. It's not a slouch. Car does great. The turbo models of this car are even quicker. I have worked with many of these cars. I know them very well. The turbo has, I believe, 65 more horsepower than this car does. This car is 150 horsepower. The turbo is 215, and they don't sound like big numbers, but you know, this is all about economy and efficiency. The turbo, of course, doesn't get as good of good of fuel mileage, but you know, you get some more zoom. Mileage on this car is fantastic. If you can't see it because the sun is a little bright today, 96,000 miles on this. Just turned 96. It's got 96,093 as we drive. This car has only had 2 owners in its lifetime, and the most recent owner had it for 11 years and only added 61,000 miles during her ownership. Everything works on the car. Air conditioning is freezing cold. It's blowing on me right now. It's giving me goosebumps. Air conditioning works fantastic. I showed the frozen AC lines on my walk around video. Definitely showing how well the AC works. All the other features and functions work like they should. And you can see the my detailed presentation of the inside, outside, under the hood and all of that on the other video. So while we're sitting at this red light, just briefly, I do like to, just turned green, but I do like to mention the recent new service items on this car, even though this is a driving video, I do like to mention, so you know, if you don't watch the other video, and just so that you know, because of some of the things I'm going to say as we drive, but this car has 4 brand new Toyo all-season tires and had a 4-wheel proper alignment done at the same time as the new tires, so our steering wheel is nice and perfectly straight. I am an absolute fanatic about steering wheels being absolutely 12 o'clock pure, straight and perfect, and I won't accept anything less. So this is done very well. On top of that, of course, it had a fresh oil change. It had some new serpentine belts put on, a new air filter, and then this car needed a new cooling fan. Its little module or whatever it is that tells it to turn on and off was acting kind of crazy. So this car got a new cooling fan assembly, and that took care of that problem and made the AC just right, like it should be. Also had a cooling system flush and cleaning and conditioner. This car's brakes are just about like new. They have 9mm in the front and the rear, which is equivalent to about 90%. I talked about this in my walk around video, but brake pads start out at about 10mm when they are new, which is not as much as you would, about that thick or so, right? Not like that, between my 2 fingers. So each millimeter is a very small fraction of that, and each one represents about 10% of wear. So 9mm is about 90% life remaining. on those brake pads. This car's had a lot of excellent service history that I talked about on the walk around video as well. It's had a timing belt service in May of this year, a new battery in late 2022, new hatch struts on the back hatch, very common failure on these cars usually at this point in their life or even sooner. Helps hold up on that rear hatch in the back. Had new motor mounts, new exhaust, and some other things. Transmission fluid was changed. It's important, but it's also relative to changing that fluid if you know that it's been done. It's always usually advised to only change it yourself when you know prior owners have changed it, in fact. But this one was changed at 71,000 miles, so it's good for a while, another 30,000 at least, and then it can be changed again. But well, we're stuck at a red light. It would be remarkable if we saw another PT Cruiser while we do this driving video. I like to look around for other interesting cars while I'm making videos, or especially driving videos, because you're moving. And of course, it's always interesting to see other cars like the one you're driving or talking about. It'd be quite funny if we did, but as you probably know if you're watching this video, and as I mentioned on the walk around, these cars were, the last and final year for this car was 2010. So it's been already a number of years since they were produced. So the number of them available and the number of them with 96,000 miles is dwindling quickly. So this is definitely a nice one, a clean one. I mentioned on the walk around, and you can take a look for yourself, this car's paint and finish is beautiful. It does not have any of the typical rust that you will see on a lot of them, especially from this area of the country, the Midwest or Northeast. Usually you will see rust on the rocker panels and around the rear wheels, the wheel wells in the rear. This car doesn't have any of that, but this car has also been cared for, garage kept. A lot of times you'll see the tailgates rust on the bottom of the tailgate or inside the rear tailgate lip, like the rear jam of the tailgate, the inside portion. This car's is perfect, no rust, it's clean, it's nice. It's hard to find, and you know, you can buy a car with rust and you can try to fix it, but any good body shop will not give you any kind of a warranty or a guarantee. Ooh, look at that, oof. Will not give you any kind of a guarantee on rust repair, because most of the time, if it was there once, it's going to come back. Rust never sleeps. I have to point out cool things that I see while I drive, because I do appreciate all of your comments and subscriptions, and anything you want to say positively or negatively, give it to me. I want to hear it. But I've had several people comment in the past about, he had this Lamborghini just drove by in front of him and he didn't even say anything. So I didn't used to really say anything, I guess, but I've started to make sure that I point out anything, and I do like to talk about other cars as we drive, because, you know, that's what I like to do. Talk about cars. So, great fuel mileage, safe, efficient, reliable, functional, economical. What other words can we use to describe this car? The body style, I think, has lots of different adjectives to describe it, you know, like unique, character, personality, an unmistakable style, a retro style. As I said in the beginning, HHR, I guess, maybe rivals this car, but I do like these PTs better than an HHR. Just HHR feels very, very cheap to me on the inside. It's not a terrible car, I just don't like it as much. A lot of people enjoy them now than they did even when they were new, more than when they were new. Or a lot of people that own these cars now, current date, they, and people that I personally have worked with, they often buy another one of these because they had one in the past and they either sold it and regret it, they miss it, their husband or wife got rid of it unbeknown to them and they were mad about it. a lot of different reasons. It got a lot of miles, maybe, and wasn't as reliably reliable of a car, or they didn't think it was at that point. So a lot of different reasons, but a lot of people that shop and look for these PT Cruisers, have owned one, know the cars, understand the cars, know how great they are, and enjoy many facets of them. One thing I will say, in my own experience of driving these, and I don't really feel the need to demonstrate this, but I will just talk about it right now. Turning radius. A lot of people talk about in reviews of these cars that the turning radiuses kind of stink. It's kind of true. Turning radius is not fantastic. If you're making a sharp maneuvering or pulling into a very tight parking spot and you have very little room to work with, if you don't know how to drive well to make the right calculated adjustments before you pull in, you may have to back up. Or even if you're making a U-turn, that's when I think about turning radiuses, even though U-turns aren't legal a lot of places. Here we go, we're going to get on the freeway. The turning radius is not fantastic on these cars, but okay, great. It's one small negative thing. It's not a big deal. But once you know the car and you routinely drive it, of course, it's something you can make the appropriate adjustments for, so that you hopefully don't have to back up or make too many maneuvers to get where you're trying to go. So there we are at about 65 miles per hour. A little bit of traffic here, a little bit of construction, but steering nice and straight. Absolutely no shaking or shimmying or anything like that out of this car, especially with the brand new tires, and all of them, of course, balanced. Brakes are strong and true. I'll show you that when we get off this freeway here in a few miles. It's almost 70. There's about 70 miles an hour we're at right now. Steering wheel nice and straight. No hands, straight down the road. Yeah, right there. Barely had to take over. This position I like on this steering wheel too. It's almost like a lobster claw grip right here. I mean, I know technically the right way is up here, but this grip right here, you've got a pretty good hold when you kind of crimp down on it, and it just makes it comfortable, along with your elbow on the door panel, and then of course your other elbow on the armrest. Quiet cabin, minimal engine noise, nice ride, wonderful seats. I mean, the seats truly are wonderful. They're just very thick. Some bumps. Here's something else that I mentioned in the walk-around video, but now I'm going to show you that we're actually driving, because I mentioned it when we were sitting still. But take a look at my feet right now. Let me scroll down here. So I've got my left foot flat on the floor, and my knee is not up like this. It's basically straight out. And of course, my other foot's on the accelerator, but it's interesting because to me, this is very comfortable. It's like sitting in a chair with your foot flat on the floor. So, and I'm about 6'1". So, not short, not crazy tall, but it's just really comfortable. And I've got the seat all the way back, which I really don't need it all the way back, but I do have it all the way back for the purposes of trying to make this video and give you a good perspective. But you can see how much footroom I have down here. So a lot of space down there in the footwells. There we are at 73, 72 miles per hour, 72, 73, and nothing but smooth and wonderful. Going to get off at this exit up ahead on Beach Road, half a mile ahead, and we'll turn around and come back the other direction. So same route in reverse. If you've seen enough, leave me your comment, leave me a like, subscribe to my channel, that'd be cool. My name's Nathan. I don't remember if I said that in the beginning. Just having a relaxing day. This Jeep's going a little slow here. Okay, move it. Alright, probably gonna get off here. Maybe not. Alright. I also got scolded recently by a viewer for not using my turn signal. So I have to do a better job of signaling. Lots of construction here. Yep, I'm gonna push the brakes. And we got caught at this light, but brakes are strong and true. There's no shaking or shimmying or anything like that. They work nice and well. The pedal's nice and high. You can see how high the pedal is with my foot right there. You know, again, look, I'll put it in park for a second. Look at my feet flat on the floor and my legs going straight out. You know, it's just, there's a lot of room. Very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. And here we go. Before we get back on the freeway, another thing I wanted to mention on this video, and I think I did on the walk around video as well, these cars have, I know I did, but these cars have an incredible amount of cargo space. Now, there's plenty of space in the back behind the seat. There's more than you might expect. And then there's a package parcel shelf back there that has a couple different positions that you can readjust, which you can see me talk about in the walk around video. I'm going to accelerate here on this ramp so you can see it get up to speed a little more quickly. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. So as you see right there, by the time we make it to the yield sign, I wasn't even pushing the gas pedal to the floor. I was just pushing it down. Here we are at 70. This car's got great and wonderful acceleration. It's not a race car, but it's not a slouch, and it'll get up to speed and go when you're ready to go. So, and there we are at 70 miles per hour. But lots of cargo room. Take a look at the walk around video, and I talked about and I showed how the back seats can fold flat, they can tumble forward, they can come completely out if you have no reason to have the back seats. If you're going to use this vehicle to work out of or store tools in, or you have big dogs and you want them to have a lot of room and you don't need the seats back there, or even occasionally if you don't need the seats back there, you can take them out and you can put them in, which, as I mentioned on the walk around video, is a lot different than you know, most SUVs. You can fold seats or flip seats or do whatever, but you can't take them out. This car, you can take them out. It's kind of neat. I didn't take them out on the walk around, but I showed basically how you would do it, and I flipped them forward and tumbled them forward. So you can take a look at that in there, but lots of room. Even if you don't take the seats out, you just tumble them forward, there's a lot of room, more than you would expect. That's also something that most people reviewing this car talk about, is the crazy amount of cargo room and a nice ceiling height as per the shape of the outside. Real nice tall ceiling for the size of the car. Now, the reason I didn't signal to get in the left lane was I'm watching the mirrors Even though some of you may look at me making this video thinking, wow, he's crazy, I am watching everything. I'm watching the screen, I'm watching the rearview mirror, I'm watching the side view mirrors, constantly watching, making sure everyone around me is away from me, and I'm not doing anything crazy, but I'm always watching where everybody is. And this is actually how I normally drive regardless. I appreciate you watching me. So again, leave me a comment, leave me a subscription, leave me some feedback, and I appreciate you, each and every one of you. It's nice to feel appreciated, right? Yes, everybody likes to be appreciated and loved. There's 75 miles an hour. If you can't see, I know it's a little bright with the sun. If you can't see the speedometer, we're traveling at 75 miles per hour right now. And nice and straight in our lane. Look at that. No hands on that steering wheel. Look how straight. Look at that. Look how straight we're going. I mean, the road's crowning a little bit, so we're going to have to hold the wheel. But so straight. Look at that. Wonderful. Wonderful. There's one of my favorite cars for road cruising and comfort. Mercury Grand Marquis or a Lincoln Town Car. I personally own a Town Car, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. That's a big car. That's a big car, big trunk, but wonderful road car. Incredibly reliable as well. V8 engine, but gets very nice mileage on the freeway for how big it is. And a red Corvette. Who doesn't like a red Corvette? Alright, we're going to get off here at Hamilton Road. I was trying to think if I could demonstrate that turning circle anywhere here, but we'll see. Actually, yes, we will demonstrate that turning circle because there's a little side road after we make a left off of this exit ramp. We'll see if we can make a U-turn on this little side road that's coming up soon. U-turn. Keep watching. Runs and drives. Got caught in another red light. Runs and drives fantastically. Is that a word? Yeah, fantastic. Fantastically. Another thing I mentioned in the walk-around video, I don't usually talk as much about features and functions and things on the driving video, but when you get stuck at a red light, what else you got to do? I really do enjoy the centrally mounted window switches here. A little different than what you might be used to being over on the door panel somewhere, but this is actually kind of nice, and when you get used to it, it's really nice. Both front windows are auto on this car, so that's nice, of course, when you're pulling up to that drive-thru and you have to get the window down quickly. This car has the vent visor, vent shades on the outside you may have seen in the quick walk around at the beginning of this video. But the window switch panel being there is nice once you get used to it. A lot of cars, not a fair amount of cars have gone to that, but keeps the door panel clean, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think it makes sense. So, and one of my other favorite styling cues on the PT Cruiser is the shifter head ball. Looks kind of like a pool cue ball to me. I don't really know how they determine what color they use, but I've seen plenty of white ones. The white ones look like a cue ball. Alright, we're gonna go. Excuse me. If you've been watching this whole thing, you might be tired of hearing me talk, but I like to talk all the way through, or reasonably all the way through. I try to not talk the entire time so that someone can. So you can certainly listen to the sound and the engine and the transmission and the acceleration, but okay, we're gonna go right here. There's usually not a lot of traffic here, so let's test this theory. See how wide this road is. This is a no outlet road. Okay, so if we were in this lane and we were going to make a U-turn. We've got some forgiveness here. So if I make a hard left-hand down turn, see that? The only reason I was able to do that is because there's 3 lanes. So normally you wouldn't have this extra lane here, right? You'd have the one we were in and then the one you want to go in to make a turnaround. So we needed a whole extra lane to make that U-turn, right? See, boom, all the way down. And we needed all of that room. So that's the thing, you know, picture pulling into a parking spot across the street at that Target, and if you don't calculate it just right, Target's over there, you're going to have to back up perhaps if you're trying to make a real last minute sharp adjustment. It's not as big a deal as I'm making it out to be. I just wanted to say it because it is one of the you know, commonly said things. But again, once you drive the car, you get used to it and you know and understand your car. It's not a big deal. Just something to talk about. Every car has a weakness or a flaw or some feature that people don't like or something that just isn't perfect, and that'd be one of the things for this. But I'm glad we got to do that demonstration. I don't like to just say stuff and not prove it. But as soon as I kept reading about that, as I was reading, I like to read about cars I'm going to talk about. Even though I think I know a lot, I still like to read what other people have to say and what potentially people that own the cars have to say. And when I kept reading that, I thought, yeah, that's true. I've driven enough of these PT Cruisers to know that that's a factual statement. So anyway, enough about that. Back to the positives. Cool car, retro classic car, unmistakable styling and personality, and great fuel mileage, great visibility, great car for a first-time driver, super low cost of ownership to own and maintain one of these. I mean, the parts are available, the parts are cheap. This car's been well cared for. This car currently needs nothing. This car is ready to go, ready to drive, ready to enjoy. But even down the line, when it does need something, nothing is unattainable for this car, and nothing is hard to fix. Nothing is going to be expensive. That's when I say low cost of ownership, that's exactly what I mean. I mean, you're not going to break the bank to own and operate the car. So, yeah, great cargo space, lots of room. I think I've said enough and shown you enough of how this beauty drives. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for your subscriptions, feedback, comments, whatever you'd like to leave. Certainly appreciate it. And I certainly hope that my video has helped you in some way. I get a lot of personal satisfaction out of people commenting that say that they've enjoyed the video or that it was helpful to them in making a decision to buy one of these cars. Makes me feel good. I appreciate those positive vibes and good karma coming my way. So have a great day, and we'll see you next time. All right, peace. Bye-bye.